are you addressing rural security, particularly in agricultural zones where investors would need to operate farms, processing facilities, and logistics networks? What assurances can you provide agribusiness investors concerning security needs?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum. Honestly, you have raised a very fundamental question. When it comes to investment, there must be security. And as you are rightly aware, that Kaduna State, when we took over, about 24 of our local governments are under siege by this insurgency and what have you. But first of all, we understand the fact that you cannot address the insecurity without involving the community. So local approach to the insecurity is one of the major factors that we have considered as government to tackle the insecurity challenges in our state. We created what we call in the first 5 months of our administration, Kaduna State Community Watch Corps. As I speak to you today, we have graduated the first, second, and third batch with over 2,500 young able men that were trained, equipped with all assets that makes it easier for them to address the challenges. And again, we realize that we have to involve the local communities at the grassroots. We establish what we call village security committees. We establish district communities as security committees. We engage over 9,747 members at various levels of these committees to help to tackle the insecurity issues affecting our state. Again, we are able to synergize between the community watch corps and the conventional securities that we have in the state by providing them allowances to operate, and also by giving them most incentive they needed to drive the process. And luckily enough in Kaduna State, that has been working very well. And we have been fighting the insurgency holistically from the local level and addressing much needed effect. Because you know, as it was said by the guest speaker, for you to address insecurity, you have to fight the root causes of the insecurity. What are the root causes of insecurity? Majority of it is poverty, unemployment. And we came up with a lot of strategies and policies to address those challenges, especially the unemployment aspect of it. We created an agency that provides all what it takes for people to find things to do and to be employees of labor rather than to be working with their CVs looking for jobs. So with these incentives, we are able to reduce these issues of insecurity to the barest minimum. And most of the places that farmers cannot access their farms, they can now access their farms. And we have witnessed that through the bumper harvest we have witnessed in this last rainy season, and also the activities of irrigation farmers in the state, and also the pastoralists. And now I can say that even local governments that we tag as frontline local governments, farming activities are going on, markets are open. All those markets that were closed in the last 5-6 years, we have opened them. We have opened the Sheme market, we have opened the Entu market and the Musa market. We have opened all the other markets. Bathare market, you can stay to Bathare up to 12 midnight and come back to Kaduna. So these things are gradual, and we have been able to do that. And during the farming season, we used to organize what we call operations at the beginning of the rainy season, at the end of the rainy season, to allow farmers to plant and harvest their crops, and also to allow farmers to harvest and move their crops back to their home. So I think the people of Katsina State are all living witnesses to the success we have recorded in tackling insecurity in the state. And the government, along with the conventional security agencies, we are doing all what we have to address the issue. And I believe that we have addressed it to the barest minimum, and people can go about doing their businesses in the state. And I call on investors. We have provided a fertile ground for you to invest, and this is the right moment for you to do that with a strong political will. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I hope our investors can see that all the security concerns can be set aside. Now, our next question is going to be on reforms that create a favorable environment for businesses. Now, many investors cite multiple taxation and bureaucracy as deterrents. What reforms have you implemented to address these concerns? Are there one-stop shops or digital platforms for business registration and compliance?
You know, it is well known in all investment grounds or investment levels that for you to succeed, you must have right policies, you have to have right institutions. Without right institutions, there is no way you can develop and grow any business or you can grow any investment. So what we did when we came on board was to establish some institutions that will drive the reform. Because without those institutions, there is no way you can drive the reforms. First of all, at the beginning and the inception of this administration, we established what we call TSA, a single treasury account, to enable us to ensure transparency and accountability and to have records and seamless transactions in terms of even the payment of levy and what have you. We also established what we call Katsina State Directorate of ICT, and this Directorate of ICT is to provide a digital platform for our businesses to shine and for our businesses to move and for our businesses to grow. We also established what we call a SPINE, which is a Strategic Policy Monitoring and Evaluating Unit, which is an institution that helps us also to grow the economy and ensure transparency and accountability. Under that platform, we created what we call Public Service Administration Reform Department, and the whole aim of that is to reduce the bureaucratic bottlenecks, ensure that we have digitalized our civil service, ensure that we have given them much necessary training and capacity to carry out these reforms. We have established also what we call CASEDA, which is aimed to provide MSMEs with support and guidance. We have created a number of institutions that makes it easier for us to drive and to remove bureaucratic bottlenecks. And also we have established what we call CAGIS, Katsina State Information Geographic System, which makes land distribution and land title ownership very easy and seamless. So we have done a one-stop shop also, which is digital. We have provided what we call Sustainable Agricultural Development Platform, which has just been launched by the Vice President. And that platform is to provide access to farmers directly, and they can ask their questions. We can provide extension services digitally to any farmer that can make a single phone call, and we can provide all the necessary. Part of the reforms we did to make things easy for our farmers is also providing agricultural development, agricultural mechanization centers in all the 34 local governments, where machineries will be available for farmers. At a phone call, you get the services of those machineries, and you can be able to improve your farming, and you can be able to produce more food and provide food security. So these are the kind of institutions, and then we also roll out policies. We have rolled out regulations and guidance. We have taken a number of bills to the State Assembly to establish them so that it will give a fertile ground for investors, and it gives them a kind of protection and cover. So these are some of the things that we have done in terms of regulatory in terms of policy, in terms of institutions, to provide a platform that will reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks and also provide a fertile ground for investors to come and invest in the state.
As you can see, Tanzania is ready to make things easier for you to invest. Now, our next question is about investment incentives. So, what specific fiscal investment, tax holidays, or investment packages is Katsina State offering to attract investors in priority sectors such as agriculture, solid minerals, manufacturing, technology, and infrastructure?
You know, these incentives, what we did in the state as I came on board, there was what we call the Green Economic Zone, which some structures were already built, and also it's about 800 hectares of land in that Green Economic Zone. The essence of establishing it is to provide a land concession to anybody who wants to come and establish any industry or any factory. That one is ready. Right now we are talking with Genesis Energy to provide 12 megawatt electricity in the Green Economic Zone that will make energy available for all industries that want to be, or those who want to set up their industries and those who want to set up any factory to enable them operate. And we also establish a one-stop shop at that Green Economic Zone, which has all the federal agencies in one place, along with the state agencies, to make registrations and what have you. We have also provide tax incentives in terms of startups, and also some tax holidays were provided. We also reduced some levies that makes it difficult for investors to move around. And with the current tax law that was passed by the federal government, I think in that tax law there were a lot of concessions on MSMEs. There were a lot of concessions on small businesses, and in Katsina in particular, we also have concession for those people who want to start off the business. We are giving them some tax holidays and making things easy for them through these institutions that we have established. And then in terms of digital infrastructure, we have also provided a zero-fee right-of-way in the state, that anybody who wants to roll out these fiber lines in the state can do it freely without charges, so that at least we can provide internet service in all nooks and corners in the state that enable people to establish whatever they want to establish and to come and mature all their ideas to cultivate and harvest their ideas into a digital platform. So these are the kind of things that we have provided in the state to enable investors to have a field day in terms of whatever economic prosperity they are bringing into our state.
So, Your Excellency, you mentioned power supply. Now, how is your administration addressing power supply challenges? Are there independent power projects, renewable energy incentives, or off-grid solutions being developed to ensure reliable electricity to industry?
You know, I think Katsina State as a subnational is leading in the renewable energy initiative throughout the country. Why I say this? Because we have invested heavily on renewable energy. And you know, renewable energy is one area that the whole globally we are focusing on because it's where the world is moving to. And first, because it has some advantages in terms of climate resilience. And then we in Katsina State, we have over 3,000 hours of electricity in a year. So we have a very, very big advantage for us to take in terms of renewable energy. The state government in the last 2 months have awarded a contract for the establishment of 20 megawatt of solar electricity in the state, as well as 10-hour megawatt battery system. 10 of this megawatt of solar energy is going to be invested in the solar, in the Lambarimi wind energy. And this is the first time in the history of this country we are having a hybrid system of wind energy and solar energy in a place. What we are trying to get from the Lambarimi is we are trying to have at least 20 megawatt input grid in Lambarimi along with the hybrid system of the solar energy of 10 megawatts. And we are also deploying another 10 megawatt in 11 institutions in the state, including hospitals, our tertiary institutions, and some of the government institutions. And with that, we will reduce the cost of energy on the state and also provide sustainable electricity to our energy. Right now, we have provided solar energy in the government house. We have provided solar energy in the state secretariat. We have provided solar energy in the general hospital, Kaduna, and other hospitals. And we are rolling on. And we are counting to about 25 megawatt electricity of solar energy in the state, financed fully and rolled out by the state government for the benefit of our people. We have also signed an MOU with the French Treasury to establish 1 megawatt hydropower in Danja Dam so that it can power irrigation facilities at the new dam in Danja. And also we are in partnership with Genesis Energy, Ocean Energy, BECnet, and a whole of other partners who are willing. Even the last visit I had, that I came back yesterday from South Africa, we are expecting some partners to come from South Africa to also sign some MOU with us on the establishment of this renewable energy industry in the state. So I think as a subnational, Kaduna State is the leading state in terms of renewable energy infrastructure in our country.
So now, as the backbone of any economy, how is your administration supporting MSMEs? What access to finance, capacity building, or market linkage programs have you created?
You know, I've been in the MSME ecosystem in the last 6 years when I was the DG of Smeden. And MSME is one of the things that is so dear to me, and I hold so dearly to me, and I take it as my baby. That is why at the first 4 months of the administration, we were able to establish what we call Kaduna State Enterprise Development Agency. And not just establishing the agency, I also appointed myself as the chairman of the board of the Kasida so that I can give the agency the proper guidance and direction that it needed, and also to give it much needed political backing. And the DG reports directly to the governor so that I will remove all the bureaucratic bottlenecks that can hinder the growth of the agency. And what we did is like we have realized that in the MSME space, the major problems are 2 in number. One is capacity building of the MSMEs themselves, and also financing. And then, you know, we did establish what we call business development support groups, BDSPs. And these BDSPs are saddled with responsibilities of training and building the capacities and monitoring and evaluating the MSMEs to ensure that they are going in the right direction, they are getting the direct training they needed, and the guidance they needed, and the regulatory aspects they needed. Because most of the impacts, most of the things that affect the MSMEs, especially our MSMEs, is they lack even the regulatory framework. They are not registered, most of them, even at the local level, talk less of CAC. And that we have also provided that platform to enable them register, formalize them, and also provide funding. And then before we even went to funding, we already done a census, not even a survey. We did a census of our MSMEs, and we have built a database of our MSMEs, which has their addresses, the places they operate, what is their number of employees, how they operate, what are the kind of products they produce, and all these aspects. We have done so much in the field of MSME development, and we have rolled out funding. Up initial, we provided 3.4 billion as an initial funding for the agency to provide MSMEs with the needed loans and grants. We also partnership with UNDP. They provided a funding which we had a sum of 542 million kept and distributed and shared to the various MSME schemes in the state. You know, we have NGKs. Under NGKs, we also provide support to farmers, support to women, and support to all hosts of others. We have rolled out goat initiative mechanism in the state to boost goat production through the women initiatives. And in that scheme alone, we have provided over 40,000 herds of goats to about 36,000 rural women in the state, all to boost their economy and to boost their livelihood. And also, we were able to, from the initial time we established this agency to today, we have empowered through loans, grants, training, and what have you. We have done over 30,000 MSMEs to the last statistics I had from the agency. We have done a number of things in terms of training. We have done a number of partnerships with the Pan-African University in Lagos, which about 10,000 women were trained and empowered. We are also collaborating with Katsina, and we have improved the Katsina Youth Craft Village, which provides skills and vocations to our MSMEs. And in that regard as well, even the last 3 months, we were able to graduate about over 600 young men that were trained, and we have given them all empowerment materials, and we have given them all the necessary capital to drive their businesses and their skills. And then right now, we have partnered with NATA through CASEDA, and we are training about 3,000 into mechanic and the mechanic-related issues up to the digital level of mechanic repairs, and we have done so much on mobile trading. We have done so much on the digital platform to support the MSMEs. And I want to announce that the funding we provided for MSMEs are still with us. People need to come up with a very bankable business proposal or business feasibility study to around them. And what we did, we have reduced all the requirements needed by the MSMEs to funding. And it's an interest-free fund that we are not taking one single interest. And there is even an incentive associated with it that for those who return the money at when due, they will get a concession of 10% out of the money we have given out to them. So all opportunities, all things that we need to put on the platform to enable our MSMEs to access this funding. And in some cases, we are not even giving them loans, we are giving them grants. And we have provided grants to thousands of MSMEs in the state. And right now, we are doing corridor mapping of all businesses along the streets in major of our cities, and we are trying to build their capacity, empower them, and support them to grow their businesses, and also to modernize their system of doing businesses in those kind of places. That we need to give a better perspective and a better approach to MSME development in the state.
So this is a call for everyone to access the funding that is available. Now, a final question. In terms of positioning Katsina State at the national, regional, and international level, what international partnerships, bilateral agreements, or development finance institution relationships have you cultivated to bring foreign direct investment to Kasala State?
Yes, we really recognize the fact that we cannot do it alone. We need to build partnership. We need to collaborate with development partners and other NGOs and organizations throughout the world. And then the need for that then drive us to establish what we call Kasala State Development Management Board. It's the first of its kind in all the subnationals in the state, in the country. And the essence of the KTDMB is to provide what we call to monitor, establish partnership, pursue the relationship, and pursue all those things at the national and international level, and also try to build on and leverage on that to change the narratives in the state. And then also to coordinate all the development projects that are being done in the state into a single port, into a single platform to enable us to monitor it. Then, we have a very good, robust relationship with World Bank and other development partners. There are so much, so I can say that most of the programs roll out by the development partners and the World Bank that Kasala State has key in, and they are doing very well in it. We are one of the best performing in Agile project on the World Bank. We are one of the best performing on the TEST project, also on the World Bank. We are one of the best performing on the RAM project, that is the rural roads initiative under this international partnership. And as we are aware, we have built a relationship with UNDP under the Climate Change and Security Initiative. And we have built 152 houses for internally displaced persons in Libya as part of the UNDP initiative with the state government, in which the state government has also provided a counterpart funding, and we are doing it alone. We have rolled out what we call Nigerian for Women project, because the Nigerian for Women project is also going to 3 local governments. Because of the importance of that project, the state government funded another 4 billion into Nigerian Women project, so that at least we can move those projects into all the local governments for the benefit of our rural women. We have done partnership with the World Relief Agency in Michigan, America, in which they provided us with 10 containers of medical equipment worth $10 million. We've also done a partnership with Pure Life medical equipment. They are also giving us 10 containers. They are already on their way. We have also built partnership with an organization in US. They are providing us with 10 containers of education materials. 2 of these containers have already arrived in our state. And we are building partnership. I have said French Treasury, we are building partnership to build a hydro 1 megawatt hydroelectricity generation plant in Nigeria. We are building partnership with many organizations. Even last week we signed an MOU with the Border Security Agency of Belarus to come and assist us in the security aspect in the state. And we are building a lot of partnership all over the world so that at least we can put the state in a better position to compete with any subnational in this country. Kasala State was known a long time ago over history that we are the base for scholarship in terms of education in centuries back, and we have produced prominent and very important people in all aspects of life, in politics, in business, in education, academics and Islamic education. So we will not allow ourselves to be at the back door. We will not allow ourselves to draw back. We are always moving forward to ensure that Kasala State is always seen. Whenever the light is on in this country, you will see Kasala State popping than any other state. So that is just our target. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We would like for His Excellency to remain on stage because the next activity also involves His Excellency. And now we are quickly going to run into action. We've already seen and listened from the fireside chat.